I have decided to revisit my childhood and play some old point-and-click adventure games, specifically Sierra adventure games, at least to start. I may branch out into other ones. When I was a wee lad, the first computer my family had was a Tandy 1000, and the first game I played on that PC was the original Space Quest. And back then, they weren't even point-and-click adventures; they were text parser driven, and then Sierra switched over to a point-and-click interface later on. When I played this, I did play this game probably 35 years ago, if not more. It was called Hero's Quest. They changed the name because there was already a tabletop game called Hero Quest, and so to avoid confusion and potentially lawsuits, I suppose, they changed the name of the series to Quest for Glory. So I played this game, I played the second one, and I played the fifth one. I've seen bits and pieces of 3 and 4, but I never actually owned those games. So let's go ahead and give this a go. And we're going to play the VGA version for the full 256 color glory rather than the 16 color EGA version that I actually played back then. Listen to that crunchy music. I should mention that when I first booted this game up, just to check it out to make sure it was working, there was no music, and I was like, hang on, shouldn't there be music? And there is. It's just the DOS box was configured wrong out of the box. This is the Quest for Glory collection off Steam. I imagine the one on GOG is probably the same thing, running through DOSBox. Just needed to run the install command from inside DOSBox, and to change the music setting. It was configured to use MIDI. Just change it to Sound Blaster, and now, hey, we get this crunchy ass music. So I have my character choice. This is the same character I will be using for all 5 games because you can import them. You have Fighter, Magic User, and Thief. I'm picking Thief for a couple of reasons. 1, I like being sneaky. 2, Thief is the only character class that you can pick that you can have every skill, because he's only missing Magic and Parry, and it costs 15 points to get the first 5 points to basically learn a skill. And if you have a 0 in a skill, to the best of my knowledge, you can never learn it in the game. You can't. You advance your skills by using them, and if you have 0, you can't use the skill. You just flat out can't, and I don't believe there's any way to learn it, at least not in the first one, and I don't think in the second one. Like I said, I never played 3 or 4, so there may be a way to learn skills that you don't have later, but I like to have my options open. I don't know how much I'm going to parry, because you don't have a shield as a thief. You start out with a dagger, but also the thief is the only character that starts out with a lockpick, and I don't think there's any other way to get a lockpick in this game. I don't remember if you could get a lockpick some other way in the second game. Magic users don't really need a lockpick because they can open doors using a spell, and then, fighters are just gonna find a different way to get past that door. Alright, so I have 20 points left. Let's increase her luck. I don't remember exactly what luck does, but that seems like a useful thing for a thief, really for anybody. Let's increase our weapon use just in case I get in a scuffle with somebody. Never a bad idea to have more vitality. That's more hit points. That gives me 13 health instead of 10. And I'm not going to bother increasing agility or any, because I'm going to be using these a lot, so I'm just going to increase these in the game. So let's increase strength. That also gives me more health. Alright, let's get started here. This seems like a quiet little town. On the porch ahead of you are two people. The standing one is large, rather ugly, and playing with a yo-yo. The seated person smoking a pipe looks like he might be the sheriff. The man with the pipe greets you. Welcome to our town. You are lucky to have made it down from the mountains before the snow blocked the passing yet. It's gotten pretty dangerous outside the town, I understand. Many monsters have been trapped around here with the late snow. Between them and the brigands, we certainly could use a hero around here. Hint, hint. I am Sheriff Schultz Meisterson. This is Otto von Goon, my assistant. Good luck in your quest. Alright, so, my decades of adventure game playing tell me look at everything and try every bit of dialogue. If for no other reason than Sierra games often have some pretty good flavor text. Schultz appears to be an affable old coot, content to smoke his pipe. There's a hardness behind his eyes, however, that gives you reason to believe that he's no pushover. There's more than a hint of ogre about this strange and bulky character. He seems cheerful, though. If this is the town water supply, no wonder nobody ever comes here. It's not much to look at. The sign reads, Hero's Tale Inn. The windows glow from the light inside. The sign reads, Hero's Tale Inn. This is the door to the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office doubles as a jail for the town and a hangout for the sheriff and the goon. It's an empty jail cell. Fortunately, you're on the outside, at the moment. Well, I haven't robbed anybody yet, but I am a thief. There's a sign on the door of the barber shop. It says, Out to Lunch. Now look at these statues. The ugly statue seems to be watching you. I don't think it's ugly. I don't know if these are supposed to be gargoyles, but I love me some gargoyles. The sign of the scissors above the door indicates that the building contains a barber shop. Alright, let's talk to these gentlemen. Can I talk to the goon? You get no response. My man's got some yo-yo skills, though. You should know. You came down from there. That's a fair point. This town was named after the barons of Spielburg. It used to be a lively place to be before the brigands came and drove all the business away. You can find a place to stay at the inn next door. You can learn about jobs available at the guild hall down the street. If you're interested in magic, you should visit the magic shop. There's still plenty to do and see here in Spielburg. Baron Stefan keeps mostly to himself at his castle north of here. We haven't seen him here in town for years. Oh, so it's a play on Steven Spielberg, I'm guessing. Baron Stefan Spielberg, Steven Spielberg. This is an 80s game, and that was, the height of Spielberg popularity. I mean, he's still popular now. Just next to the inn is a small magic shop. The owner, Zara, will let you in if you have some abilities in that area. She's a strange one, all right. Go talk to the innkeeper. He will help you there. The guild hall is at the southwest corner of town. If you're looking for work, that's a good place to go. The monsters come down from the mountains every winter, but they're usually gone by now. The Baron just doesn't have enough men to handle them. Wolfgang is the one to talk to about monsters. He's had a lot of experience with them. Wolfgang, down at the guild hall, is the one to talk to about monsters. He's had a lot of experience there. Okay. There's a whole band of brigands hiding out somewhere in the mountains around us. They robbed a merchant just last week. Got a fair amount of treasure, I hear. The one who was robbed? He's staying at the inn, I believe. Should probably talk to him. Obtaining treasure involves putting yourself in danger. If you're brave, foolish, or lucky, you might get some treasure. My friend, this world's filled with dangers. Sometimes I think it might be better to choose your danger, rather than sitting around waiting for it, as I seem to do. But enough of this philosophical rambling. I am content enough to be sheriff of Spielburg. You'll need to talk to the Baron about that, or go ask Wolfgang down at the Guild Hall, which is just down the street. So maybe you're going to be a hero. Well, we could surely use one around here. What with all the brigands? He already introduced himself. Kind of dumb to ask his name. I am Sheriff Schultz Meisterson, and this is Otto von Goon, my assistant. Okay. Well, I'm not going to go in the inn yet. I think I should go to the Guild Hall first. Whoa, check out this eye right here. I take it this is the magic shop? The eye over the magic shop door seems to be watching you. You have come to the end of the main street. The town wall is to the south. You have an eerie feeling that someone is watching you. Yeah. She's the only sane person here. At least she's not off her rocker. It looks like a nice, neat little house. There's a grandmotherly little old lady rocking on the front porch. I am so gonna rob her. Sorry, lady. I didn't say that part out loud. That was an inner monologue. Judging from what the sign says, the building at the end of the street is the Guild Hall. You can see a thin thread of light under the door, so there is probably someone inside. Okay. You know what? Let's switch to run. Just to build up some... Because that's going to build up some stats. It's probably going to burn my stamina though, but you know what? I can live with that. This Adventurers Guild Hall reminds you of the one in your hometown. The traditional moose head and the other stuffed monsters, Saurus, Troll, Griffin, Dragon, Cheetar, and the terrible Antwerp adorn the walls. You see a registration book on the table and the bulletin board full of job listings. The man seated near the window must be the guildmaster. He is snoring. By the way, if you hear little pops and stuff, that's not poor recording on my end. That's from the game. I have to hear the pops, so you do too. This is certainly a weird one. You've never seen anything quite like it. The plaque reads, Antwerp, explained by two guys from Andromeda. The head is like a panther's, but with a strong, human-like quality. It is still rather frightening. The plaque reads, Cheetar, slain by Wolfgang Abenter. Honestly, in the 80s, even with the pops and stuff, this was pretty, revolutionary sound technology. Because before this, you had MIDI, which was just beeps and stuff. Even in death, this monster remains awesome. The plaque reads, Dragon, slain by Baron Stefan von Spielburg. It looks like it must have been a particularly nasty troll. You wouldn't want to meet him in a dark forest. The plaque reads, Troll slain by Wolfgang Abenter. This crossbreed of eagle and lion could have torn a man apart when it was alive. The plaque reads, Griffin, slain by Wolfgang Abenter. A past adventurer's armor suit. You wonder why he doesn't need it anymore. Then you see the Cheetar claw marks. The plaque under the moose says, courtesy of the Sierra Online Prop Department. You never saw a purple Saurus before you came to Spielburg, but it looks like a really stupid monster. The plaque reads, Saurus, slain by Hans Halfwit. The window looks out over the countryside. The tapestry is so rotten, it would probably fall apart at the slightest touch. Alright, we should probably assign it. Well, let's take a look at that. It looks like this old guildmaster doesn't do too much adventuring anymore. Still, he looks like he was plenty tough in his day, and he probably has many a tale to tell. This entry was made several years ago. It says, Baronet Barnard von Spielburg killed a troll near the Flying Falls on this 23rd day of October. Okay, let's sign our name. You sign your name into the adventurer's logbook with a flourish. I should talk to this Wolfgang over here. Ah! I was so busy I didn't notice you come in. Welcome, welcome. It is so seldom that we have new adventurers here. Most people think this valley is cursed. It looks like this old... Okay, it's still the same flavor text when he's awake. Let's talk to him. When she turned around and I was staring into the biggest... Oh, it's you, my friend. Go on, Wolfgang. What were you talking about there? I am Wolfgang Abenteuer, the guildmaster of this hall. I am supposed to keep track of all the adventurers and make sure they sign their names into the log. I did. There was a time when I would go out and rescue foolhardy adventurers who got into too much trouble, but I don't go out much now. This is where an adventurer can find out who needs someone brave and courageous. There are many jobs on the bulletin board out over there. It is also a good place to talk about adventures on a cold afternoon. We used to play cards here once a week as well, but there are too few adventurers in Spielburg anymore. They all died from monsters or brigands, or they just got too old. Did I ever tell you about the time when Schultz and I rid this valley of Antwerps? We were real adventurers then, and this was a real guild hall. Now we are just old men, and this is just a place to tell old stories. You can see some of the types of monsters that live around here if you look at our walls. There are trolls, griffins, cheetars, mantrays, and goblins wandering in the woods. I hear there are even some ogres and Saurus Rexes back in this valley. There was a time when Schultz and I had gotten rid of most of the monsters around here, but we were just too old for that now. Trolls are very tough. Fortunately, they only come out at night. The woods are very dangerous at night. The Saurus is a monster easy to avoid and easy to kill for a skilled adventurer. Ogres are a lot like goons, but even meaner. Not as bright though. Goblins are not tough, but when they gang up, they can take out an unwary adventurer. Cheetars are ferocious creatures that charge out of nowhere and try to tear you to shreds. Sometimes they succeed. Those weird things are magical. They are best avoided. Don't mistake those things for Sauruses. When they come at you, it is sometimes best just to run away. Over on the wall over there is where jobs are posted for adventurers. Some have been there a long time now. There just aren't too many good adventurers around here lately. I don't have anything to turn in yet, so I'm not going to ask him about a reward. Her house is just north of the town gate. She's a nice woman. The castle is just north of the healer's house. Schultz and I killed most of the monsters on those walls. Okay, I think that's just about everything. Oh, no, not yet. Yeah, tell me about this curse. Ja, with the Baron losing his son and daughter, Baba Yaga, all the monsters, and now the brigands, it has just been one thing after another. Baron von Spielburg was once a brave protector of our valley. We used to adventure together when I was younger. No brigand or monster would dare show his face here if the Baron had not angered Baba Yaga. Now it is said he goes nowhere and sees no one. Now there was a hero, and worthy of the name Barnard von Spielburg. He rode off to hunt one morning 5 years ago, and his horse returned with large claw marks on it. No sign Barnard's body was ever found. Elsa was a beautiful 8-year-old child with blonde hair and sky-blue eyes. She was her father, the Baron's joy. 10 years ago she was carried off by something which flew over the wall and away with her. The search for her lasted many years, but at last everyone gave up except the Baron's jester Yorick. Yorick was a funny little man, but brave. He swore he would spend his life searching for the Baron's Elsa. She is the center of our problems, I think. Baba Yaga is a powerful ogre. Baron von Spielburg tried to force her to leave this valley, but she cursed him. Now the Baron has lost everything but his land, and I don't know how long he will keep that. What our valley needs is a hero. Baba Yaga is an ogre, huh? The way I remember Baba Yaga is she's an old woman with a hut on chicken legs. I suppose she could be an ogress with a hut on chicken legs. The important part is the hut on chicken legs, as far as I'm concerned. A real hero is someone who didn't start out strong or powerful, but uses his courage and brains and skills to become the best he can be. There is a reward for anyone who can stop the brigands by capturing or killing the leaders of the brigands. You should read the bulletin board for more information. Okay. Let's do that. Out of curiosity, have I gained anything from running around? No, but I have burned some stamina. Okay, maybe I won't continue running the whole time. Wow, he went to sleep quickly. Reward for return of the lost ring. Inquire at the healers. This poster is rather dusty and faded. The picture is of a small child with braids. Reward of 50 gold coins for the safe return of Elsa von Spielburg. Inquire at Spielburg Castle Gates. Reward of 30 gold coins for the capture or death of the brigand warlock. Description: short, ugly, and wears brightly colored robes. Has a habit of laughing continually. Inquire at Spielburg Castle Gates. Wanted: brigand leader. Description: unknown appearance. Wears a cloak. Must provide proof of the leader's identity. Reward of 60 gold coins and title of Hero of the Realm. Inquire at Spielburg Castle Gates. Notice: spell components needed. Cash or trade for potions. Inquire at the healers. Alright, I got 2 reasons to visit the healer now. This poster seems to have been here for a while. It has a picture of a handsome but arrogant young man. Reward of 50 gold coins for information leading to the return of Baronet Barnard von Spielburg. Inquire at Spielburg Castle Gates. Okay. The fire blazing cheerily in the fireplace helps warm the guild master's old bones. Oh, cool. The floor is almost completely covered by a strange symbol. The burning incense fills the room with a strange fiery scent. An ancient balance scale. Zara thinks it'll help her maintain a sense of balance. You see a wide variety of arcane objects. For example, Scrolls covered with mysterious symbols and arcane incantations. A toaster oven, very rarely used. Electricity hasn't been invented yet. Crystal balls, useful only to those initiated into the ways of witches. Bottles of mephitic potions. Books dealing with sorcery, necromancy, and other occult subjects. Dried mantray jerky. A balance scale. Okay, well, we already did that. A hooded robe for when it rains in here. That's an impressive amount of flavor text. Tinsel and chaff. Very good for avoiding radar. Okay, that's back around to the first one. Oh, this is a gargoyle? It looks like a sculpture of some weird bat-winged creature. The jar is filled with a corrosive-looking green substance. The coals are glowing. A mortar, complete with the traditional pestle. It's a blue bottle of blue bottle flies. A brown jar of crushed cockroach essence. It's a bowl of pretty little fish. The jar is filled with a corrosive-looking green substance. Okay. Ooh. The strange globe radiates with an eerie light. Okay, it'd be kind of rude to run here, so let me switch back to walking. I'm not trying to anger Zara. Oh, it's alive! Well, that's quite the entrance. I'm Zara, and my companion is Damiano. The items in this shop are designed for those skilled in the use of magic. The bat-winged creature must be some sort of familiar. There is an uncanny look in its eyes, and you don't want to look at it too closely. It is clearly magical. Zara has a mysterious, unearthly look to her. You have the feeling that she is not a person to trifle with. Well, not after that entrance. It's not familiar enough with you to want to chat. I am both human and fairy folk. I draw my power from both. My name is Zara. This is my shop. We are a people of power and magic, and live in the forests far beyond the mountains to the west. Power is the essence of magic, that which the wizard shapes and is shaped by. Damiano is my familiar and my friend. We share our lives and our magic. A familiar is a creature of magical abilities which has been summoned to serve the wizard. The summoning of a familiar is a most powerful spell and can be cast but once. It binds the wizard and the familiar to the ends of their lives. The more powerful the wizard, the more powerful the familiar, although you cannot always judge power by a familiar's shape. If you have the skill of magic, you can learn the way to cast spells by reading magical scrolls. Without the skill, you have no power. The more you practice spellcasting, the greater you shall become. When you have mastered 9 spells, have the power to cast all, and proven yourself worthy by accomplishing a great deed, then you must undergo initiation to become a full wizard. There is a place in the distant south where you must journey, but first you must become a hero here. I doubt I'll be able to become a full-blown wizard. A wizard is one who both shapes magic and is shaped by it. Erasmus and I are the only wizards in this valley. Erasmus is a wizard and a spellcaster who knows much about this area. He lives in a tower northeast of town at the top of a steep mountain called Spielburg. He can be very helpful if approached properly, but he has a strange sense of humor. The power potion restores your magical energy and costs 75 silver. How much money do I have? 4 gold pieces and 10 silver pieces. So presumably 5 gold pieces, or 50 silvers if it's 10 silvers to a gold piece, as I suspect. There are many entrances to the halls of magical mastery in the south. After you have gained skill and a good reputation in magic, you should journey south. If you are indeed worthy of being a wizard, you will find a way to those halls. Master the arts arcane. Use those skills to vanquish the evil curse, and you will become a true hero. There is much magic in this world for those who know how to use it. There is magic in this little town, and a good deal of magic in this valley. There is an aura protecting this town from danger. Within most of its walls, there can be no act of violence or cruel magic. Even so, it is prudent to avoid dark places. An aura is a spell of protection surrounding something. The town is still protected by the aura cast by the great spellcaster Arana. Now tell me about Arana. Arana was a powerful spellcaster who lived long ago. She brought peace to this valley. Even now, her spell protects this town from violence or foul magic. Her final resting place is due north of town, and it is a place of both safety and healing. It is known as Arana's Peace. I'll have to visit this place. There is much power in this valley, and it attracts those who use magic. I am here, Erasmus has his house on Zauberberg, and even Baba Yaga has her hut cooped up somewhere around here. She is a powerful and wicked hag. You would be wise to avoid her. She cursed the Baron von Spielburg when he tried to drive her away. Baba Yaga's hut is magical. It stands on chicken legs. Yes! And you must know the rhyme to enter. I have no interest in entering Baba Yaga's hut, and therefore do not know the rhyme. Fair enough. This is Baba Yaga's curse, cast upon the Baron years ago. Upon von Spielburg and all his clan, this the curse I now demand. What I will shall come full measure, so shall you lose all that you treasure. There is always a way to break a curse. Possibly Erasmus knows more about this. He was once a great leader of this land until he was foolish enough to anger Baba Yaga. What I sell here are merely tools to help those who have power. You may purchase restorative potions and scrolls from which you may learn spells if you have the potential. A true magic user has the innate affinity for magic. There's also the ability to store power, which ordinary mortals do not have. We sell several magical spells on the study scrolls. You may purchase Fire Dart for 60 silver, Fetch for 40 silver, or the Open Spell for 30 silver. I also know you can find a spell if you learn the secret of Arana's Peace. Huh, interesting. That is the spell that lets you cast a magical flame upon your enemy. The spell scroll will cost you 60 silver. The Fetch spell allows you to lift or lower a lightweight object from a distance. The spell scroll will cost you 40 silvers. It is a spell that allows you at first to unfasten simple locks and knots. As you gain in skill, you can even open doors with it. The spell scroll will cost you 30 silvers. That is the spell that lets you place magical energy upon a weapon. The energy will be released as magical damage when you hit your enemy. The scrolls we sell are magical. You have but to read the spell and you will learn it. To the north of town, surrounded by the mountains, is an alpine valley that is rumored to be the final resting place for Arana, although no one is certain what happened to her. It is certainly a magical place of safety. There's also supposed to be a gift there for magic users who are clever enough to find it. We have potions of healing, vigor, and power for purchase from our shop. The healing potion will cost you 50 silver. It is made by the healer outside of town. Vigor potions restore your stamina after you have exerted yourself. They cost 25 silver each. Okay, you know what? Let's do a bit of shopping. So, I can afford Vigor Potion, Healing Potion, that would wipe me out completely. Open Spell, I don't want that because I'm going to open locks with my lockpick. Can't afford the Flame Spell, but I can afford Fetch. And I need something to practice my magic. So, let's get the Fetch spell. As you read the spell scroll, the spell is ingrained in your mind. Cool. Alright, thank you, Arena. You have a fine rest of your day. How much stamina did I burn running around? I actually lost a point of health. No, I gained vitality. I see. Okay, I have 15 out of 22. So I did gain some vitality from running around. And maybe some intelligence from, I suppose, from reading that, either reading that spell scroll or from just talking to people. Can I talk to this old lady? She's really sleeping soundly and doesn't notice your presence. All right. Let's, you know what? I'm not going to go into the inn just yet. The barber shop is closed. Let's, switch to running. You can smell apples as you approach this corner. Good day and welcome to Spielburg. Would you like to buy some of my nice fresh fruits or vegetables? She's a cheerful young lady. You see a charming young centaur with the upper torso of a teenager and the body of a filly. There are a variety of vegetables for sale and the shopkeeper is a centaur. The scales are used to weigh the vegetables. It is a simple but prosperous looking general store. It looks like it might provide some staples that would prove useful to a traveler, such as if an adventuring party asks you to join them. You see a dry goods store through the window. You see a nicely furnished living room through the window. Alright, let's talk to this centaur. I am Hilda, daughter of Heinrich Ferdefedern, the farmer. My father is a fine farmer. My father is Heinrich Ferdefedern. We have some land to the north of town. It isn't very big, but we grow many things. You should be here during the harvest time. Then you would see many fruits and vegetables. My mother has been dead for 3 years now. I still miss her. I'm sorry about that. Oh, is that asking what today's date is, or is that trying to go on a date with her? Well, one way to find out. Thank you, but my father thinks I am too young. He would not permit it, but perhaps next year. Damn, shot down. This is where I sell things from my father's farm. We have many kinds of fresh vegetables for sale today. There are carrots, rutabagas, parsnips, and potatoes right from the ground at 5 for a silver. They are very good for you. We also have some apples. There are still some apples left from last season in the barrel. You may buy 10 for a silver, since they are so small. From last season? How fresh are these apples? Carrots are my favorite vegetable. They are so crisp and sweet. I quite like them too. I'm more of a cabbage man myself, but I do love me some carrots. Rutabagas keep well over the winter months. Parsnips can be made into a tasty pie. Turnips are good if you cook them in stews. They have twice robbed my father of his money, and they have tried to steal our food during this winter. This is because we farm outside of town. The brigands would not dare try that in town. The sheriff would stop them fast. Many robbers ran up to father as he trotted back to town. My father tried to fight, but they hurt him badly. They then ran away to the southwest. Okay, that is useful information. Maybe that's where their hideout is. Our sheriff is very brave. He told me so himself. Okay, I think that's all. I'm not going to buy anything from her because I'm pretty sure I have food. You have 4 food rations. Yeah, I don't need food yet. But I will probably get something from her eventually. Let's go in this dry goods store. This looks like a dry goods store, but it smells like a musty library. The stove feels nice on such a crisp day. Behind the counter and on the shelves, there are a variety of items for sale. The shopkeeper appears to ignore you while he reads a book. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice you coming in. I don't know why I'm doing a voice for him and not the other characters, but it just felt right. My, you look like an adventurer. We don't see too many around here. The brigands tend to get rid of most of adventurers before they make it to town. I do try to stock some things adventurers can use. I actually would rather be an adventurer than a shopkeeper, you see. My items are pretty ordinary, though. You probably already have most of them if you've done any adventuring at all. The shopkeeper is a small, balding man who wears glasses. He looks as if he can barely lift the book he is reading. Judging from his clothes, he is fairly well-to-do. It's the Matador's red cape, recently repaired after he waved it in front of a minotaur. Okay, that seems like a really bad idea. The proprietor's teapot. It looks like a standard broadsword behind that counter. I wonder if I can steal it. None of the clothes look like they fit. There are some wooden poles leaning against the wall. A large lumpy sack sits by the wall. You see bottles, jugs, and canned goods more useful to a housewife than a hero. Is there any more flavor text? Nope. Those look like oversized shields, suitable for ogres, goons, and frost giants. Yeah, I don't think there's any way to get a shield. You have to start as a fighter to have a shield. This is a door to the back storage room. The barrels appear to be filled with flour and salt and look rather heavy. The stove is burning merrily away, making the shop seem almost too warm. The clothes come in 2 sizes, dwarf and goon. Is this a fire poker? Bright sunlight streams in through the open window. That could be my way into this place to rob it. I'm already casing every joint that I enter. It is my job to rob places, after all. Why, that's me, Caspar. I always wanted to be an adventurer. I read about them all the time. The book I was just reading is about adventuring. Oh, this book? It's about an adventurer who is trying to become a hero. The title is Quest for Glory. A Hero's Death. Well, that's ominous. Unfortunately, I have only standard weapons and equipment. I carry daggers and chain armor. Maybe someday I'll be able to carry magic ones, though. Ah, the use of the dagger is a most skillful art. Actually, this particular weapon is longer than most, but still easily concealable. At bargain at 20 silvers. Be nice to have a spare one, so if I throw one, I still have one to fight with. You can get really good protection from my chainmail armor. It's very heavy though, and I would have to charge you 500 silvers for it. That is way more than what I have. I think I got, what, 10 silvers left? Adventuring rations aren't the tastiest food in the world, but they will keep you healthy and alert as you go along. A pack of 10 rations will cost you just 5 silvers. It's a very good idea to carry an empty flask or two in case you want to pick up a liquid or something else that needs a container. Our flasks are a great bargain at 2 silvers each. I don't like to talk about other people behind their backs. The sheriff and Otto protect this town. The sheriff used to be a real adventurer, you know. Hilda sells fine produce for a reasonable price. Well, let's 2 silvers for a flask. I will get a... I don't need any more food right now. I will buy a flask though. Here you are. Thank you for your patronage. That will be useful. Almost certainly at some point I'm going to use it. Just a hunch. The bakery shop. The shop seems to be closed, although there are some dried up cupcakes in the window. There is a sign on the door which says, "Gone fishing." A butcher shop. The shop seems to be closed. There is a sign on the door which says, "Gone fishing." The building looks old, dark, and a little seedy. The sign above the door depicts a beer stein. Looks like the door to a tavern. It's dark, but there seems to be someone in there. Looks like this door has been closed for a long time. This looks like an abandoned workshop. The pots appear to be just junk. You have come to the northwest corner of town. There is a butcher's sign over the door of the butcher's shop. Amazing coincidence. You can see a bakery sign over the door of the other shop. The tavern looks a little run down, and the alley beside it is dark. On the other side of the tavern is a rather practical looking building, like a workshop. Alright, let's go inside this here tavern. Oh, I guess it's the jam. The grimy window lets a little light into this tavern. It smells like stale ale and other more unpleasant things. The floor is covered with dirt and the bar with sticky beer. Smoke appears to be rising from the center cask behind the bar. To your right, 2 gamblers are playing cards. The bartender glares at you as you enter, and so does the ugly goon on the left. You get the impression that you are not welcome. First, let's switch to walking. Don't want to anger the people in here. This goon looks really tough and mean. He's not someone you'd want to fight. So this is where the barber has lunch. That guy's had so much to drink, he looks embalmed. The bartender looks tough from his crew cut to his boots. The only thing soft about him is his tattoo which says Mama. That's a mighty unusual keg there. The world famous troll sweat. It's always fresh. If you look, it looks lean, mean, and green. Some of the finest ale in the valley. This is a keg of genuine troll sweat, guaranteed to make your eyes water and your teeth rot. Not a pleasant sight. There seems to be something slimy spilled on the stool, and it's eating into the wood. You think perhaps you should sit on the next stool over. I wonder if I could collect some of my flask. The butcher is wearing a blood-stained apron. He seems to be deeply involved in the game. Looks like some kind of card game. The baker seems to be deeply involved in the game. They seem to be using old maid cards, but it looks like these guys aren't playing with a full deck. Alright, what is this? You see a crumpled piece of paper under the stool. There's a trapdoor. There appears to be a trapdoor beneath the goon, but he's blocking it very effectively. Okay. You pick up the note. You smooth out the piece of paper and read. B. He's starting to get suspicious. Hold off on our meetings for a bit, but I'll keep you posted by these notes. B. What do you want? This is a bar. I serve drinks. You want a drink? Order one. You want to answer some stupid questions? Get out. Friendly sort. Ale, 1 silver. Troll sweat, 5 silver. Dragon's breath, 25 silver. Take your pick. Good for what ails you. It'll go down real smooth. It's the house special. What do you think I am, a guide dog or something? This is the Aces and Eights Tavern, stranger, on the dead man's hand. He don't like his personal affairs discussed. My advice is not to do anything that'll get him upset. Hey, this is an honest establishment. You want me to ask Crusher? I wonder if... what's hidden beneath him? Alright, I'm not gonna get pickled just yet. Hey, hang on. Can I scoop this up? Got any 977s? Doesn't work. Apparently not. I am Butch Beefmeister, the butcher. Go fish. There's not a whole lot of meat in town for me to butcher these days. Now, if someone would just bring down that stag in the forest. Got any 168s? The cards, they've been very, very good to me. Go fish. There's a river to the south by the Flying Falls which has some good-sized trout. I'm Silas Sourdough, the baker. I haven't been able to get any supplies in since the brigands closed off the area. The bakery will reopen as soon as I have some. Got any 402s? The butcher has been getting all the good cards. Go fish. Mirror Lake to the south has a huge fish, but it's pretty dangerous. Can I talk to this guy? The drunken barber at the end of the bar isn't in any shape to talk, at least not coherently. The goon seems to be ignoring you. You know what? I better not. Yeah, you seem to have annoyed him. Okay, you know what? I better not piss him off. Not yet. What are my stats looking like? I'm down to half stamina. Okay. Let's check out this alleyway. This grubby place must be an alley. It feels strange here, colder than the rest of town. There are some barrels discarded here. A beggar holds out a bowl toward you. Alms. Alms for the poor. A thin man with very patched clothing holds out an empty bowl. It's the standard beggar's bowl every beggar is issued when he graduates from an accredited beggar's school. The barrels are empty. One smells of sour beer. Another barrel reeks of troll sweat. An early model of a hot dog stand, or could it be a hamburger stand? Okay. You know what? I am going to give him a coin. It's not the worst idea in the world. Might have some useful information for me. Thanks. You know, it's really tough trying to make a living begging in this town since the brigands started scaring all the trade away. This used to be such a nice place to live. My advice to you is not to take up begging. It just doesn't pay. And don't go out at night. Can I practice climbing this wall? You'll need more practice, but am I getting practice? Probably need to call up to it. I am. It's burning my stamina, but it is increasing my climbing. Let's do a little more. Try to get up to double digits. There we are. One more for posterity. $13. Alright, my stamina's getting pretty low though. Alright. You get 1 point. I'm not giving you another one right now. A word of warning to you. Don't drink the dragon's breath. Okay. Let's go to the inn. Oh, I like this music.
Welcome, welcome traveler to the Hero's Tale Inn. I am Shamin at your service. May you find what you seek here.
You see a small cat-like creature known as a kata. You've heard that katas are common in the southern deserts. That's where the second game is located. A well-fed fire purrs happily in the fireplace. I'm a big fan of the second game. I remember that was my favorite of the 3 that I played. Probably largely because of the Arabian Nights setting. Such a great setting. Wildly underutilized in video games in my opinion. Because we have Quest for Glory 2, let's see, the Prince of Persia games, and not a whole lot else. That's a cool carpet. This looks like an alpine inn, complete with dishes on the wall and heavy beams on the ceiling. It is pleasantly warm and the aroma of strange spices fills the air. The tables look like they have been rough cut from some of the local pines. The merchant is a rather fat man with a small mustache and beard. He wears a turban. I should talk to him. A collection of designer plates loaned to the Hero's Inn by Mary Meister. This authentic Polynesian mask is far, far from home. One of Hiram Plugmeister's double-barreled spittoons. A door to some other room. Perhaps the proprietor could tell you what's in there. The odor of cooking food wafts through the curtains. This is the brighter candle. This is the idiot half-brother candle. It's only half bright. Oh, is that a magic lamp? You look closely and read, Genie's lamp for rent. Inquire in Quest for Glory 2, Trial by Fire for details. Oh, it's just another cheap plug. Oh man, that's good. Let's talk to Shamin.
Very good food, very good drink, finest in town. Sit, rest. You will be served by my Shima. Very nice room, very soft beds, finest in town, only 5 silvers a night. Poor Abdullah sits and tries to forget his loss in food and drink. I think he will not be sorry if you join him at his table. Alas, the brigands stole all of Abdullah's wealth and mine own when they robbed him, his caravan. Now I will be forced to stay in this wet, cold land. I know little about them except they must be wealthy now. I hope to return to my homeland with the profits Abdullah, Shima, and I would make from the caravan. Now, I fear, we will remain here unless someone deals with the brigands and returns our stolen trade items. A land of golden sand and tall mountains, a city of tall buildings and winding streets. A place where kata can bask in the sun as they sell things in the bazaar. It is our homeland and a place we long to be. In my homeland, a caravan is the only way to travel from city to city. Spielburg is a sad place for an innkeeper, for few travelers visit because of the brigands. This is a cold land for a kata. He comes in with his wife sometimes for her food. He's very wise and generous. There is no end to the food that one can eat. Oh, I believe you. This is the Hero's Tale Inn, where Shima and I will be delighted to serve you. The softest and safest of beds, the richest and finest of foods await you. You have but to command. Shima is my beloved, and she can cook and keep an inn as few others. When she dances, there is true magic. If we ever return to Shapir, then she will again dance. Okay, let's sit down. You take a seat at the table nearest the fire. Oh, it is indeed sad and dangerous times we live in when a man who struggles daily to keep from starving should be robbed of all his earthly possessions. Oh my! I am Shima. Allow me to serve you, wanderer from afar. Do you wish food or drink? You know, I'm not a furry, but she's quite the looker. You see a rather attractive female kata wearing her native costume. You have but to give Shamin 5 silvers, and you may have a bed to dream upon. I like the way they talk. We have very good stew of newborn lamb along with honey chicken for a mere 3 silvers. Coffee is included in the price of the meal. We have rich black coffee, freshly ground and brewed as only my people do. Such coffee will bring you to your full alertness. It is but a silver. It is Shamin who is the speaker for the house, for I have much work to do to serve you. If you wish to know more about such things, then you should speak to him. Abdullah will always be our guest and friend. Abdullah too is from the land of Shapir. Abdullah will be honored to tell you of that. He is my soulmate. Okay, well, it would be rude to not get something. So let's just get a coffee. Hopefully that regains me a bit of stamina. You caffeine addicts are all alike. What is my current stamina? 9. I actually regained some, I think, just sitting here. Okay. Two weeks ago, I was going to be wealthy beyond what you could dream of. I, Abdullah Du, would be the first merchant into this valley this year, but my life was shattered by brigands. The band of brigands ambushed us just as we crossed the pass into the valley. There were about 12 brigands, including a huge minotaur. There was also a leader and some sort of wizard. They first used some sort of magic which blinded us. Then they overwhelmed my 6 guards and my assistants. All my trade goods taken from before me. I am now but a beggar living off the generosity of my friends. I bring you that which you ordered. May it please and satisfy you. The coffee is black as night, hot as hell, and sweet as a lover's kiss. The beverage goes down smoothly and well. Permit me to clear the table for you. Man, that is some service. You're getting a 5-star Yelp review from me. All right, let's continue our conversation here. The wizard threw something at us that caused my eyes to be blinded with tears and my nose to be forced to sneeze. I was helpless. The Minotaur is a creature with the head of a bull and the body of a man. They are said to be very strong. The leader was wearing a cloak, so I couldn't see his face. His voice was rather high-pitched, though. So... possibly a woman? The wizard was very short, and he giggled most of the time. I couldn't understand what he was saying. I have my suspicions that this wizard is Yorick, the court jester. Here I pay good money for men to protect me. And what do they do when I need protection? They run away. Not one man died to defend my treasure. You just can't hire good guards anymore. I had treasures carefully brought from Shapir with me. I even had a magic carpet with me. That sounds like it would be useful. I'll fly around on that. Even though they too lost a fortune when the brigands stole from me, Shamin and Shima are caring for this frail shadow of a great man. She is the finest of cooks. I said of myself, that is. But her fine food is as dust in my mouth, for I am but a beggar. He is the very prince of the Katas. Ah, Shapir, beautiful land of golden sands and shining sun, the heart of civilization. Alas, she is plagued with fierce jinn and afrits who seek to drive all men and katas from the land. But I can speak no more of the homeland I shall never see again. Instead, I will die in this cold, forsaken land, bereft of all that I love. I trade the treasures of one land for that of another, but the brigands have stolen every treasure I had, and I am a merchant no more. I think that's everything I can talk to him about. Yep. All right. How much did I regain any stamina? No, I think I just got the stamina from sitting. I don't think the coffee restores anything. Okay, fair enough. Ah, nighttime. All right, I don't think I can afford a room anymore. 6 silvers. Actually, I can afford one, but you know what? I am a thief, and this is my time. My time to shine. So, good place to leave off. Next time, let's do a little bit of thievery, or at least some thievery practice.